Good. Good. That's why Campbell's... Oh.
That's what Campbell's soup is. Good.
Hold on. Welcome to Progressive Soup. My name is David Stevenson. Tonight we have a very special guest, Sandra Holzman. Sandra's going to talk about branding and how products are branded, how companies are branded, and then we're going to try to maybe apply it to politics somehow. But first of all, Sandra, introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll talk about branding.
Okay. Well, my name is Sandra Holzman, obviously. I have my own advertising marketing agency for about 15 years called Holzman Communications. I've written a book called Lies Startups Tell Themselves to Avoid Marketing.
Okay. No, my book now. Okay, keep going, yeah.
And it's geared towards entrepreneurs, suits, people in large corporations who really don't have a lot of time to talk about marketing, don't care about the theory. Basically, just they have impediments that we've heard year after year about why they're not marketing.
Yeah.
And we came up with the top 10 lies, and we feed it back to them, and then we answer the lie with the truth. And then we go in and give case histories or examples. We're one of the few books that has pictures. And then we go on to talk about why they should do what they're doing. Like the first lie in the book is what I call the Kevin Costner lie. Right. If I build it, they will come. And the answer is, you've heard that, right?
The movie, yeah, sure.
Okay. If I build it, they will come. And we say to the entrepreneur, are you sitting at your desk or your lab, and are you waiting for the latest thing to walk through the door? And if you're not, then nobody else is. So you got to get out there and sell it. It's not enough to have it. You got to move it.
Well, first of all, I have to point out that you missed one very important point on the cover of your book: lab rats.
Lab rats.
What about the lab rats? What's their part in all of this?
Lab rats, usually people work in laboratories. I do a lot of high-tech science, biotech and stuff. So you get university professors, you get people who work in labs. They discover stuff, and they're really expert at what they know. However, what they know is limited to the university or the lab. And so they could have a brilliant idea, and it'll never get out because they don't know how to commercialize it.
So they're what I guess has become to known in the modern parlance as geeks. I mean, they're specialized.
Geeks, and it applies.
They're not computer geeks; they're lab geeks.
It works with computer geeks too. The guy who invents the program or the gal who invents the program, exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. They know the person who's inventing hand cream, who's a PhD, and at home in the Caribbean, at home at night, they pick native plants and they cook it up in their kitchen, and they have what's called intellectual property, something that's trademarkable or patentable. And it's like they're experts at doing that, but then they can't take the next step because that's out of their expertise. And that's why a lot of businesses fail. They don't understand that it's not enough to have the idea. You have to be able to sell it to somebody. You have to. And actually, I was at a venture conference yesterday, and all the venture capitalists want to know now is who's the market. Don't sell it to me. Who's your market? How are you going to sell it to them so when I invest in you, I get my money back? And inventors can't do that as a rule.
So there's a lot of specialization involved here, in other words.
The specialization, it's knowing how to take somebody's idea and commercialize it.
And then somebody has to come up with the right words to let the world know how much they really need this product.
Yes.
How marvelous this product is and how you can't live without it.
Yes.
Never mind that there was something just about like it.
Or exactly like
it out there in the world, but it's just not the product.
Exactly. We've developed, it's not just a matter of coming up with copy lines and pretty pictures. We've developed a unique methodology called rapid development. And what we do is, in the traditional market research, you get 12, 15 people in the room. The ad agency and the client have slaved for 6 months. They come to the people in the room, and they'll show them 3 different concepts. Well, as soon as I put 3 concepts in front of you, I'm telling you, non-verbally, I don't care what you think. This is what I think of what you think. What do you think of what I think of what you think? And it's so far removed. And it worked.
Echo chamber.
Yeah, it worked great 20 years ago. But with the advent of the Internet, nobody has time to do that. Nobody has time to throw it up against the wall and see what sticks. It's too expensive. It's too hard. So what we do is we eliminate the whole process the beginning process, we get the 12 people in the room, and we let them tell us how they want to be told and sold. And
well, you have the focus marketing groups.
It's customer-focused marketing groups. And what happens is we get it from the horse's mouth. Then we go out and we take what they've said and we mold it creatively. So there's no guesswork involved. It's already been tested and we got what they want. Now, in terms of branding, especially since the internet and especially with Twitter and social networking, the customer has more and more say in how you develop your brand or your image from the get-go. So if you ignore them, and a lot of large companies still do, you're really missing the boat on getting the maximum relationship and what they call ROI, return on investment from them. And with branding, the simple way to put it, it's, yes, you can call it image, but the simple way we put it is it's not what you say, it's what they take away. So it's not what you say. There's no chest beating, which was the old way. You know, this is the corporate. I mean, look at mission statements. I mean, look at any mission statement. We're out to do good by the world. We're out to provide the most for our shareholders, you know, and have ethics. I mean, that was Enron's mission statement. Look where that got them. So nobody
I guess. But they were selling energy back and forth from themselves to themselves to themselves.
Right, from themselves. Right, across the room.
On a computer, on the computer, and upping the ante every single time they did it. And then eventually California would get stuck with overpriced energy.
Exactly. Exactly. So, so with branding, it becomes, you know, it's not what's highfalutin and what your ideas are. It's really, what does a customer want? What does a customer want? We did a website a few years ago, and we used this, and it was a direct-to-consumer launch of an RX product for teenagers with active acne. So your typical pharmaceutical website.
Active acne.
Meaning. They had a breakout. They're constantly broken out.
As opposed to how how our pharmaceutical companies tell our teenagers that even if they don't have any signs of it, that sign might be right around the corner.
Well, yes, well, that's marketing too. But I'm sorry, I went very FDA on you. The indication was active acne. So that's when you use the product. Instead of doing the old, here's 3 ads, what do you think, ho-hum, and the competition, there's 2 big competitors out with almost the same product, and the competition had we're the big pharma company, here's the information, a little bit of bait, come in for the bait, slam them with the sale. That's the old way of doing marketing. So what we did was, you have acne, we're going to help you. How can we help you? Oh, and by the way, it's sponsored by the pharma company, and the relationship starts on the home page. But more than that, in the old pharma company way of doing things, or the old, not just pharma, I happen to work in pharma, so I use that as an example. But it's true with any company. You have everything set very conservatively, and it's safe. It's safe and it's conservative.
Big companies, safe processes.
Right. So we had a $50 million company, $500 million company come to us with this product, and they said, we don't want safe. Give us something edgy. And what we wound up with was, in the research, since we showed them nothing and we started with tabula rasa, one guy came over.
I like your Latin.
It's menu, right?
Absolutely.
One kid came over and he grabbed a sheet from my moderator, and he said, this is what I want. I want a flash opening on the website. I want a big zit. I want 2 fingers coming into the zit. I want the zit to pop, and I want pus all over the screen. But you're not 18 with acne. You're not 18 with acne. And none of the girls went, ooh. Everybody was on board. And the final website is a smiling girl with 5 zits. And as you mouse over each zit, it pops.
Wow.
And our client was really brave, put it up, interactive all the way through. You know, 18-year-olds aren't going to read the medical disclaimer, which by law you have to put on.
Yeah, well, it's also in type that's almost small enough so you can almost see it anyway.
Right. We put the product on a, you know, when you go to the beach, I can't remember what they're called. You have a plane carrying a message.
Oh, yeah, with the banner going across the sky. Yeah.
Well, the product comes floating across the website. There's movement everywhere, and that's what appeals to that audience. And the client, she was thrilled. They went from, I think, 100,000 prescriptions to 1 million in less than 4 months.
That's a lot of zits.
It's a lot of zits. It's a lot of, or it's not a lot of zits. It's a lot of cures.
Oh, of course not. It's got to be framed properly now. Yeah, it's not
branding,
zits.
image.
We're not creating a problem. We're creating a solution for a problem
exactly
that at least teenagers perceive that they have. If in fact they don't.
Precisely.
One or the other. Doesn't matter if they have it or not. We've got to make them understand that they've got this problem or may have this problem.
Exactly.
So they need to be prepared.
So exactly. And so again, our client was very brave. Teenagers came to it all over the place. Very little external marketing to drive them to a website, which is rare.
Oh, no, of course not. Yeah, they're right there anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got a little activity going, a little pop and little explosions going on.
Lots of it. And then
could you turn that into a video game, maybe? I mean, you could have done a video game along with that.
They asked for a game.
They wanted a video game?
They asked for a game, and the client didn't originally have that planned, so we did an educational game in there, which taught them. And then, I'm 17. I have a date tonight. Uh-oh, what am I going to do?
Otherwise, I'll be home playing whack-a-mole if my date doesn't love me.
And the screen shakes. It's like, solve the problem. The other products don't put them up. They don't care what your problems are. They want to sell their product.
Yeah.
We went to, what's your problem, and how can we fix it? And that's how you start the relationship. And that's what branding is about now, because the brand becomes more of an interactive relationship between the end user and the company.
So it could have been sort of like whack-a-mole in a way. I mean, you could have had the zit and then you whack and bah. Could have been.
Yeah. And again, our client was very brave. She told us a story after the site went up and became very popular.
Yeah.
By the way, the end story of that is 3 years later, the company sold themselves to Glaxo for like $29 billion. So this was the first website that kind of put them on the map.
$29 billion worth of zits. Holy crow.
I think they had a few other products.
But they had some other products.
Just a few.
Okay, yeah.
But my client was walking down the hall one day, and she called us up and reported 4 other brand managers came up to her with different products, and they said, we hate your website. And she said, good, you're not a 17-year-old with acne. So that's how targeted branding is. I mean, the old saying was, we have 70%, we're 70% effective with our marketing, we just don't know which 70% or 60%. This is 100% effective, it goes straight to the audience. You don't need the peripheral because they're not buying your product.
Yeah.
So
how would you apply that? Okay, I've got a product I want you to market for me. My product is for restless elbow syndrome, or chicken-like syndrome if you want. What do you do for that? Walk me through a marketing plan for restless elbow syndrome medication.
A medication?
Yeah.
Well, first we find out what we can legally say with the FDA.
Mm-hmm.
Then
is there a restless elbow syndrome?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
More than likely.
Restless knee syndrome, restless leg syndrome. Yeah.
If legs, why not elbows?
There's drugs for everything.
Yeah.
And if there isn't, we'll create the disease and invent the drug.
I'm hearing them do that all the time now.
Exactly. They're getting blamed for it. Yeah.
They're coming up with all these things that we never ever heard of before.
Right.
I think restless leg syndrome. That's what we used to call the tingles. And nobody ever took any medication for it. They just uncrossed their legs for 10 minutes and ba-ding, it was gone.
Exactly.
So my restless elbow syndrome.
So you have restless elbow. So we do the research. The pharma company gives us the research.
Yeah.
We do our own research.
Yeah.
When does it happen? How does it happen? What's the background? How does the drug treat it? What can we legally say? And then we get the people in the room. So we know the demographic. Let's say it's men aged 40 to 60.
There you go. Here I am. Restless elbow. I fit right into that demographic.
2 cocktails a night, whatever. Drives an SUV and the elbow's resting here. Maybe that's what gives it to them.
You can have a specialization for left restless elbow syndrome.
I'm making this up as we
right
go.
Restless elbow syndrome.
Exactly. 2 different products.
That one's for the passenger and one's for the driver.
Exactly. 2 different products.
So, okay.
And then...
Solve my problem, oh wizard.
Then what we do is we get the people who have the problem in a room, and we ask them what it feels like and how they want to be told and sold. What's important to them? What are their pain points? Not what the pharma company or the manufacturer's pain points are, but what's your pain point? And often they're divergent. And often what you think you're inventing something for is not exactly why someone's buying it. So if you can shortcut and go straight to what they're buying, what do they want? The hell with what you want. What do they want?
So if they're taking, if they find that this medication for restless elbow actually cures baldness, you might find that after the fact that people are found that, oh my God, some guys think it cures baldness. I don't know where they got that idea. Probably from the company. Probably.
Not legally, but yes.
Yeah, there's ways.
It could be. It's been done.
There are ways of making them think that way. So then you've got this secondary application for this medication,
right?
And you've got to focus on that also, and you've got to very subtly tell them.
Well, no, you can't do. You can't do that in pharma.
Well, you can say that. In about 3 seconds, you can say 3,000 things that may cause your leg to fall off instead of be cured. May cause your eyes to fall out, but don't worry about it.
Oh well, you have that too.
Yeah,
you have that too. But the classic case of that was there was a drug on the market years ago which was taken off, and it was a proton pump inhibitor, which was basically stopped GERD, gastric esophageal reflux. Okay. It was, and the product was called Propulsid.
Propulsid.
Great product.
That's supposed to make you. That's what propel, like propulsion.
I don't. Maybe it helps you digest food better, but it stopped the acid reflux.
Sounds like something that would make you regurgitate instead of.
I know it does. Now that you're bringing it up, yeah.
It's a reverse psychology there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe they want people to think that they've got the propulsids, and then the product will help them solve the propulsids.
Okay, but it was used for reflux.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew this, except I had a cat at that point, and I took the cat to the vet, and vets were using Propulsid to keep hairballs, to cure hairballs. You can't cure hairballs, but they were giving them to cats to prevent hairballs. So it's like, here's an outside of labeling thing that had a huge audience and usage.
Oh my God.
And who knows how they figured that one out.
And everybody's got it. Who owns a cat has hairballs.
Everybody has that problem.
Yeah. And so I'm sure they go to the vets, and the vet says, hey, by the way, there's this product for restless arm syndrome, which works for hairballs, too. So don't tell anybody I'm prescribing it. We'll write the prescription for your cat having restless arm syndrome or restless paw syndrome, and it's really going to solve the fur ball problem. Okay, we've gotten way off topic. So let's go back to the, well, I guess not the restless arm syndrome, but let's go back to the, I guess not the Propulsid. How about, what was the thing we were talking about to begin with?
Zits?
Zits, yes.
Zits.
Yes, back to the zits.
Okay.
I had zits when I was a kid.
Everybody did.
Yeah. I mean, but a lot of it's, some of it's obviously, it's your body's makeup, it's genetic, and some of it's, maybe partly what you eat. If you, have about 40 pounds of French fries a day, might have. Well,
there's a lot of myths about what you eat too.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are. I'm sure there's a lot, because kids can be scared into believing anything that might be bad for them. And because the internet is so viral and kids are totally plugged into the internet, any information that goes out that gets picked up, right or wrong, shoots through the whole community immediately. Right or wrong, it might be. Right. It's that might be that's the most dangerous. Uh-huh. So, okay, back to the acne. What do we do with the acne now? How do we, okay, now we've got the product, now we've done the focus group, and we found out how the kids want to be sold, how the kids want to feel after they've been sold the product. They want the proper words to use to their parents to convince their parents that they really have to have this product. Okay. What do we do then? Well, again, there was a little modification that came in. You had the kid wanted the two fingers going into the zit and the whole screen splashing. And my client leaned over. I'm going to have visions of that for a long time. My God. And how big were these zits? Were they like about this big on a face? So you had like he had a big piece of construction paper. Oh, okay. It was big. No face. No face? Big red zit, two fingers coming in. Better. He described it. This kid. Even I hope he went on to become a filmmaker because he had a really good imagination. So we get that. I bet he did films where like people got chopped up and mutilated, and fingers would come out of the side of and come into the room and explode them. Or I'll bet exactly. So the client said, "I can't get that through regulatory." Mm-hmm. Okay, so we came. In other words, it was a lie. Huh? In other words, it would have been considered a lie.
No, it wouldn't. Not so much a lie. It would have been too.
Too frightening.
Too far out.
Oh, okay.
Too far out.
Too wacky.
Too wacky for the conservative regulatory. So,
okay.
So we came up with the navigation with mini zits and mini pops, and that was acceptable. And
where they could actually scroll the mouse over the
that was a navigation.
The arrow over the screen.
It was a navigation.
And they could pop somebody's zits. Well, kids love to pop each other's zits.
Right. And they do?
Yeah, when I was a kid, oh my God.
You popped other people's zits?
Oh, of course. I mean, you had different ways of doing it. You'd do it with your fingers and your fingernails. So we'd have these little like stuff that we use in school, different kinds of like what are the paper clips and stuff like that. You'd run it across the face, and you'd see how far you could get the zip to fly.
Oh my God!
After you popped it, are you kidding? Kids are nuts. Kids are nuts over that kind of stuff. Never mind a computer screen. They want to do it in real life. They don't want to whack a mole on a TV on a screen.
I'm glad you weren't in my group.
They want to whack a real mole. They want to take a croquet mallet and they want to whack a real mole. Never mind a fake one. So there we are. We've got the screen, and we've got the arrow, and you hit
it.
Right, is it a right click or a left click?
It's a right click.
Okay.
It's a nav piece, navigation,
okay.
And then you have a choice of skinformation. We called it.
Skin from Myrna. What do you think? Skinformation, pretty good, huh? Thank you. I had to get my audience in.
So, and as you went around the navigation, you got information, and each drill down was interactive all the way through the site. And then at the end, after you went to all the different zits, and you came back to the face, they were all gone because you learned about zits, and that was that. That was strategically correct. Simple solution, and it strategically worked. So we put the call to action in, we put the coupon in, we did all the stuff that a marketing firm does to make it marketing.
So on the website you could actually get, you could print out the coupon.
The client wanted a coupon,
and get $1 off a $20 product.
Maybe a little more. Oh, sorry, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically that.
Huh.
And that's how we do it. And we've done it for nanotechnology products. We just did it for a rabbi.
What are nanotechnology products?
The
nano is minute, right? Very small.
Yeah, tiny.
Yeah,
invisible tiny.
That was on Mork and Mindy. They used it was nano technology.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you were saying, and the other thing you were saying about nanotechnology and
we did site for rabbi.
Yes.
Nanotechnology. Which one you want to hear about? I'll go either way.
I want to hear about the rabbi.
The rabbi.
Did it involve Manischewitz?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Branding. A rabbi came to us.
Yeah.
And he does destination weddings, and he does interfaith, same gender, and interracial weddings.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I do those too. I'm a justice of the peace. I haven't done one wedding yet in 2 years. But,
okay.
And I did it just because in Connecticut we passed a law making gay marriage legal, sanctified gay marriage. And I said, well, this is great. I'm going to get my justice of the peace.
Yeah.
And I did, and yada yada. 2 years later, not once.
Do you advertise?
Anybody out there, you want to get married? For God's sakes, I can do it. I could learn how to say. What do they say when you marry somebody?
I now pronounce.
I don't know. I've never done the thing. I've never done the act.
I've now pronounced you.
There you go. I can say that. I've now pronounced you. What do you say?
Man and wife. Or wife and wife.
Or wife.
Or man and man. I don't know. Husband and husband. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
It's got to be flexible there.
Yeah.
So the rabbi.
A couple.
The rabbi.
So he comes.
I like that. The couple. I've now pronounced you a couple. Beautiful.
A legal couple.
A legal couple.
Now we can tax you more.
So the rabbi.
So he comes to us, and he doesn't have a website, but he knows he needs one because the competition has websites.
Yeah.
So, and he wants to be different. And as soon as we look at the competition, we know we can make a better website.
Yeah.
We know it immediately in-house. And we tell him to go, we send him out, and we say, go collect all these pictures, go collect testimonials. And he says, I want to, and we say, look, I spoke with him, and it's like, what you described is much better than what I could write and copy. So write what you want to say. I'll mold it for you, but it's your words. And so it's his words all the way through. And I can't remember exactly what he says in the homepage, but we have a slideshow going across showing multiracial couples, interfaith couples, a nice Caribbean background, stuff like that.
I bet they give them a very sultry voice too.
No, there's no sound on the site.
No sound?
No sound. Basically, it says each marriage is unique and a union and special between two people, something along those lines.
Sounds very beautiful.
It's very beautiful. It's very quick. And then it brings you into the site and what he does. And it's a pretty site. It appealed exactly to his audience. We had him do a little search engine optimization. We had him do a little bit of pay-per-click. And the site went up about January, and it's, I'd say in the first 2-3 months it was up. He increased his weddings.
Okay. Peace to you, brother.
He increased his weddings 60%.
Yeah.
So from the year before.
But now that could be 60% over 2. Let's say you'd done 2. You might have gone up to 3.
No, his goal was you know what? I don't know the numbers.
See.
No, it wasn't 3.
You've been marketed.
No, I've been marketed. No.
Somebody has got you thinking that something is really fabulous.
No, he took the numbers and we went with them. I think last year this time he had 2 or 3 weddings. And he had 7 or 8 at this point.
Well, that's a good markup.
So, yeah, he really it was a substantial increase. And how many weddings can somebody do in a year?
Have you got any rabbi jokes to tell me?
No.
No rabbi jokes? Are you sure?
No, sorry.
Well, let's finish up with the nanotechnology then. We got about 1 minute left.
1 minute.
So it's got to be nano.
Tiny. So when you go to your faucet and use a Brita or a Pure filter, there's stuff in that filter. Yeah. And this company made the stuff. And what it did was take out heavy metal quicker from water, drinking water, wastewater or drinking water, whatever, depending on the usage.
So it filtered it a little bit quicker and got a little bit, maybe a little higher percentage of it out.
Higher percentage out, and it was ahead of the laws by 5 years.
Oh.
So we put them up.
When you say it was ahead of the law by 5 years, does that mean that standards are already laid out for future?
Right.
Okay.
State by state, like I don't know what the acronym is, but VOC laws. When you spray hairspray, that's related to VOC. And water purification. All the states individually or together pass laws so that we improve our standard of living and also lower the amount of pollution in the air or the amount of pollution created.
Who's the toughest state on mercury?
Who's the toughest?
Who's at the head of the pack on mercury in water or in?
Oh, well, this company was actually. You know what's in the water more? Arsenic. Yeah. Arsenic is big in the water.
I know that's AS on the periodic table. I believe. Yeah.
So we did that. Very simple site.
Well, we have to wrap it up there because I think we're about done. But thank you for joining us. We have Sandra Holzman talking about branding, and we did some branding this evening. Thanks very much. It's been Progressive Soup. Enjoy your evening.
That was it.
That's half hour ago.